Hello, dear friends. It's been a while since I did an update from my stroke series, so I thought I would just do a brief update now to let you know where things are at. So, the first thing perhaps I want to start with is my actual health. Um, so, I'm in what's called phase 3 of the Bronstrom stages. There's 7 of them, and so I'm about halfway through now. This is about a year and a half in from having my stroke. And what happens during this phase is that you get a lot of tightening of all the muscles, which is in my leg, my calf, my wrist, my hand. Makes my hand all funny when I try to get things. And it also affects my face and my mouth and eating and stuff. This is the phase where the spasticity is very great compared to what it was. In the beginning, it starts off very loose and very flaccid, and actually it was much easier to cope with when it was like that, even though it was difficult because you didn't have as much muscle control. But you didn't get the pain of the tight muscles all down the right hand side, like you have morning cramp in your calf, if you've ever had that and you can't wait for it to stop. That's how it feels in all my muscles down the right hand side. That's not to give a sob story, but it's to give a truthful story of what happens during stroke. So just a quick refresher of what happened to me. I had a left thalamic brain bleed. So the blood leaked into my brain in the thalamus, which governs all the sensation and the movement, everything in your right hand side. And I lost it all. And even now, I still cannot feel my face. About 50%. I can feel a light touch. Same on my body, all the way down to my toes, which makes things quite difficult. I already have a restricted movement with the hand, but holding things I can't really feel them. But anyway, so it's the sensation and the feeling of the body, but also the muscle tone. And I've just got to give it time for the healing process and to go through the stages of these 7 Bronstrom stages. Hopefully when it moves into phase 4 and 5, it gets easier apparently, it relaxes. But that could be another year or 2 yet. And then I've got to build back up strength. So that's where I'm at in terms of my physical things. It still makes life very hard living on your own, having to do a lot of things, especially not having the balance that I had before. Standing up on a dodgy leg is not easy, especially when I have to move things around. So life has changed. But the good thing is, I've managed to psychologically adapt to an acceptance of disability now, which was a big thing for me, given I was not disabled before physically in that way. And it's a huge thing in anybody's life, but I'm a bit more accustomed to it and working with it. So that's the good news about my health anyway. Some of you may remember that I had to take out a complaint against the services from when I was discharged from hospital because there was no support for me. And in fact, it turns out that what should have been done in the hospital, a community care assessment, was not done. And I was sent home without any planning for my situation, being off-grid. And I've managed to survive. I've got through to this point. I've had help from friends now and again when I've needed it. And I've got a very good neighbour who's been helping me with my water. But it had to eventually go to the Scottish Public Service Ombudsman, and it's with them at the moment. It's due to complete on their decision about what the council and the NHS should have done, and I've been very thorough in how I've subject access requests and going through hundreds and hundreds of documents. Literally, the report was 300 pages, which I got from the hospital. And while the treatment in the hospital was very good, it was adequate, that's what we can say. It did what it was meant to do. It was the aftercare, the discharge process, and the speed at which to get me out of hospital, and nothing put in place. Just simply to free up a bed, I'm afraid to say. Well, this has had to go to the Scottish Public Service Ombudsman now. And I can't say any more until they make their decision, but it was a catalogue of failures. In the meantime, I've had 2 social workers come out to see me recently, and it's hoping, having put pressure on them now, with legal pressure for what should have been done, that actually I might now, a year and a half on, actually get some help from them. It should have been put in place before I came out of hospital. But that's good anyway. At least I'm possibly going to get some help. So I shall find out the decision from the SPSO soon, and also from the social work team what they can do soon as well. In the meantime, the other thing, which was another failure, was the stroke I had, which was in April 2025, a year ago, and I put in for disability benefit, but obviously, and it took them till December to make a decision, and then the decision was very poor. It didn't reflect what I'd said to the person who came to see me, and I should not have put the trust in them to do that, but I did. I saw no reason for doubting their ability to correctly assess me in person in my cabin. But whether it was them or whether it was at the adjudication stage with the case managers, it matters not. There was an absolute failure again. So that had to be go to a charity who represent you represent your behalf to the Social Security to get it redetermined, and that's now complete and is about to go to Social Security Scotland. So what will that mean? That will mean hopefully in a couple of months' time I get properly assessed for my situation, and then I can get a bit more help, which is what I've been waiting for. So it's all coming to a head now, but so my benefits, my care help from the council, my complaint originally, what should have been done. But it's taken, a year and a half almost of fighting, pushing. Nothing is easy, that's what I'm finding. It's almost set up against you, and if you get disabled in any way, the system is not very kind. There are kind people within it, no doubt, but the system itself is not meant, I think, to be kind, or it certainly has not been my experience of it. But I've stood my ground, I've stood for my rights, and I'm now starting to see firsthand the work which I used to do for people who were disabled when I was able-bodied. Now I can really appreciate even more the need for it, how it feels being disabled. I never thought that would be the case this early on in my life, but it has, and that reality is something that thousands of people are facing, and we fall short in so many ways of helping people. That said, I'm very grateful to all of you who have supported me morally and spiritually in this journey that I've been on. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to you for supporting me on this long journey with getting the treatment and the care that anybody's entitled to, actually, should be entitled to. And thankfully I've got my intelligence and my ability still to communicate, although it's impaired. And that's the reason, by the way, why I don't do so many videos anymore. It's actually quite difficult for me to speak at the moment. And so if I don't make as many videos or speak to you very often on the phone, that's the reason why. Anyway, hopefully that gives you a bit of an update on my health situation and what I've been doing practically. It's coming finally after a year and a half to a close, and that's a big relief actually. But the persistence to keep pushing back. If there's anything I could say, seek out the support and help that you need to push back against the system that tries to actually undermine and make your life difficult, as if you have any disabilities. It's a shame that we have to fight all the more. And if anybody ever finds themselves in a similar position, please feel free to get in touch, and I can suggest some things which I did, which might help you too. Anyway, so something additional to add is that I now get all my food delivered to the cabin by the cooperative, and they're brilliant. They bring it to the cabin, they even bring it inside in baskets into the cabin. So I'm very, very lucky because I don't drive anymore. I can't drive to any supermarkets. There is no shops in the Glen, nothing I can walk to. I'm entirely dependent upon the co-op coming to me. And that is just so wonderful, given where I live. It's a real lifesaver. I'm hoping eventually to get my driving sorted. It's currently with the DVLA, who are deciding on sending me to Glasgow for a driving assessment for an adapted vehicle, so I can use my left hand and my left foot, which I can't use the right hand side effectively to manage a car. But if it's put on the other side, I can. So I'm getting close eventually to having that assessment, that decision made. Then I've got the problem of having to get my car adapted, or to get a vehicle that I can actually drive. I'm not sure as yet whether I actually feel competent enough to go back on the road for everybody's sake. And I've managed to cope with the cabin fever for a year and a half now, just moving from my bedroom to this sofa. That's effectively what I do most days. I do my yoga and my physio stretches and other work, but I don't go out walking, and nor do I go out really from the retreat because I can't drive to go away. So that's my situation with getting food and going out from the retreat. That is all the, as I say, the negative news out of the way, because dealing with the system and dealing with the pains of the body is quite a negative in our lives. It can drain us. So on the more positive side, to tell you, I get a lot of time to sit here with my Buddha. I get a lot of time to sit here and contemplate lots of things. It's an enforced meditation in a way, to sit down for so long and not have work distractions, but to be completely still. And in a way, that is what the Divine has blessed me with, is this place, this wonderful retreat that I happen to find, and to sit and be with the Divine all the more. Now that may seem a bit religious to some of you, and I don't care anymore, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't care what people think about the spiritual side of things. It's all spiritual. There is only the spiritual. There is only your spiritual relationship to this life, through the consciousness that you have. And there's no denying it anymore. we play well, not play, but we, through our egos, have to interact with each other, and so we end up saying what is convenient for our interactions with each other, and it's the ego comes into play with that. But I'm done with that playing anymore. Life is too short, far too short, and you're here for a reason, which I believe is to love, to find the answers which lead ultimately to love, which is the divine. The divine is love. It's all true. Everything that you find in all the traditions everywhere, which speak about, in their own way, leads to peace. And I've been blessed, if you want, to sit still and spend time finally to come to that as part of my healing. And anyway, I hope that you're finding that yourselves in your own life, in your own way. I've also had time, as well as thinking, to start to develop something which I've wanted to do all my life, which is to write something, not physically with my hand. I try and dictate into my iPad, and I'm quite enjoying that process. Recently produced a short trailer of a book that I've been working on for a long time called An Ocean Journey. And I can do a little video to explain more about that if you wish, but you can go and listen to it on YouTube, and I've posted it as well to my group. I'd really appreciate it if you have a listen to it and tell me what you think. And should I continue with such developments? Does it help you? Sometimes I don't know. I don't know whether I'm just doing it for my own sake, which is okay. It's something to do at least. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. I just wanted to wish you all well, and thank you very much for your support. I hope this update, I know it's been a bit overdue, but I hope it's brought you up to speed with where I'm at. Okay, God bless. Thank you.